Hi, I'm Jonny Moran.
And I'm Marissa Biondolillo.
And this is What We're Watching. We're going to be talking about some of the great programs we have coming up this week. The first one we want to talk about is the finale of We'll Meet Again.
I love this episode. For me, it was really exciting as a woman who grew up in the 90s, who was a direct recipient of the progress that happened during the women's movement, because it was reunions from two women who had kind of broken down barriers during the women's movement, meeting the women who inspired them again after decades. One woman, she started out as a flight attendant and then became a pilot later on, and seeing the advertisements for like airlines and the training videos for flight attendants, I was like, oh, thank God I did not grow up in that world. I mean, you know, we still got some ways to go, but just seeing how far we've come, it was very impactful for me.
So you can watch the finale of We'll Meet Again Tuesday at 9 p.m. Another one we're really looking forward to is the premiere of Finding Your Roots. And this episode has Andy Samberg and George R.R. Martin.
I thought it was really cool because Andy Samberg is kind of a private guy. You know, like I watched his movies and I seen him on SNL, but I didn't know anything about him really.
I didn't realize how little I knew about him until I watched the episode. And that's one of the things that makes the show so interesting.
Absolutely.
Is they managed to get these people who are not really out there, you know, putting their private lives out there.
And you get to know a little bit about his family history, but also his family mystery, which makes this particular episode so great. And it's also something that he has in common with George R.R. Martin. If you don't know, he's the author of the enormous Game of Thrones book franchise. And you kind of get a peek into some of his inspiration for, you know, the storylines, the family roles, the episodes. You know, you get a little look into the intrigue and the mystery that he grew up with.
Another person you never really considered how little you know about this massively influential, you know, figure until you dive into this.
I know. I mean, he created this enormous pop culture, like, juggernaut. And to know a little bit about how that came to be, I found really interesting.
You can watch Finding Your Roots Tuesday at 8 p.m. So is there anything else you're looking forward to this week?
There's a new episode of Dictator's Playbook coming out, which is really interesting. It's all about North Korea and the dictatorship that started with Kim Il-sung. The Dictator's Playbook, it's all about how dictators become dictators, but it's very interesting because it's the longest running dictatorship in history, and it's the only dictatorship to ever establish a dynasty.
You can watch Dictator's Playbook Wednesday at 10 p.m. Thank you for joining us, and see you next week.